What's happening, folks? Hope you're all well. Always a good day when Allt drop new music. This is presumably the final single before their new album drops next Friday on the 31st of July. It drops in 6 days, 12 hours, 5 minutes, 20 seconds as of recording. We've had two singles so far. The first one being Snowblind, then Omerta, and now Avalon, which is the outro track on the album, which I've just copped in this exact moment, which is an interesting choice. Not the biggest fan of when bands do that. As you can see, I'm wearing my Allt from the New World t-shirt. Let's check this out before we get into any speculation or anything like that, because there's been so much conversation around this album, some positive, some negative. Let's listen to the song first and then we'll discuss. What do you got for us, boys? Oh, are they doing the sexy thing again? Oh my God, people are going to be so pissed off if this is it. That's an alt note. That right there is alt. All three notes alt so far on the guitar, okay? Sorry, I'm overanalyzing the fuck out of this. Was that a fucking shoe, horseshoe?
Saw the sky crack open wide. Colors split where stars collide.
Let them cook.
The earth hung low, a secret side. And I asked the wind, am I still here?
Oh, people are gonna be so mad.
She whispered back, you're everywhere, my dear. Now I'm here, going overboard, stuck on you like nothing else. I wanted more. Suicide, a flying door. Took a breath to let it go. What was it for?
Wow. What the fuck, man?
Wash over my soul. Oh.
Is it? Powerful chorus.
It's overdue, set you through, I get it.
It's the verses that are the most polarizing part about it.
I regret it. Want to atone the stepping stones for her that I embedded.
I think more so the actual vocal processing.
Planning on the truth I see.
It's very modernized.
They say nothing new to me when I look to the sky to crumble and break all the time.
I don't hate it. It's just very different that I can see why people are going to be... Yeah. This is Allt in their bag. This is where they're fucking peak. That groove is getting filthier.
Now I'm here, going overboard.
It's so polarizing.
Stuck on you like nothing else. I wanted more. Suicide, but flying over.
Look, it's funnier in Risks, man. I don't hate it. It's just...
What was it for?
It's just quite surprising that they're really committing to this. But if you're gonna do it full commit, fuck it. It's the, like, you can hear the, like very, like, digital. piano feels like a bit of a throwback to the previous album from the New World, Ephemeral, except the ephemeral was like the piano, and then it turned into, they took the same kind of rhythm pattern of the piano and turned it into a riff, which is so fucking cool. Okay, I need to collect my thoughts here. I'm kind of curious to see the comments. I feel like the comments are going to be interesting. Maybe we'll do a live react section. Let me just step back for a moment. Might listen to it again. We'll read the comments, see what people are saying, and we'll speak on it then. I have just been on a fucking phone. I listened to the song again, but then my mother called me in a panic because she put 3 videos on her WhatsApp story without realizing it. It was like her recording the back garden with a load of birds in it. And she put 3 videos up of that and was panicking because she put it on her WhatsApp story to like her fucking 3 contacts. So she was panicking that myself and my fucking dad and my sister would see it. So I'm a little bit off track, but I do have some notes written down here because I think I want to get my point across properly, because I think just yapping sometimes some things can get lost in the yap. So I want to be a little bit more concise with what I'm saying about this track. I think this song is quite good. I do actually quite like this song. There's moments of it that I think are quite interesting. Again, it gets very alt when the kind of scream singing chorus part comes in. The alt that I know. This is all alt. You know, they're experimenting. They're still a relatively new band. They've only put out 1 album prior to this, and they'll have their 2nd album after this, which is kind of insane because sometimes you kind of forget that this band is only on their sophomore album, I believe is what they call their 2nd album. But the problem with alt is that they have a really solid reputation for a very cool and quite unique sound at the time that they're kind of like unanimously loved for, because they were on the come up and not a lot of people knew about them. And they were this band that was kind of one of the first like early adopters of working with Buster and, you know, being one of these Buster out of home kind of thal metalcore bands. So now that they've slightly altered that sound, no pun intended, I think there's more of a magnifying glass on it, because if this band, a good way of looking at it and a good lens to look at this through, in my opinion, and the way I've been looking at it, is that if this band was unknown to me and they popped on the scene with this song, would I have the same criticisms? And the answer is genuinely no. I don't think I would. But because I'm so familiar with alt sound, again, I'm wearing their merch, fucking sick band. I've loved this band for a while now. Their last album's incredible. I think it was my 3rd favorite album of 2024, if that was the year that came out. 2nd or 3rd, incredible fucking album, such a fun experience. All the singles were incredible as well, which is why this one's a little bit different, because again, if it's a brand new band and I'm viewing it under the lens of just like how good is the music, I think this is like quite interesting. It's quite fun. But because alt have a reputation and a very strong reputation for being such a good band and having really good music in the past, it's obviously a little bit harder to look at it more objectively, because you're expecting one thing and you can hear the clear differences between their older stuff. And change is not a bad thing. I'm all for them trying to make something new. But I think the problem with this is that it feels a little bit disingenuous to me, the stylistic approach they're going for. It almost feels like they're watering down their style to go for a more like trendy approach, especially in the vocal department. The vocal effects, you can hear it in certain moments. It's like, I don't know much about auto-tune and the actual vocal effects that they're using, but just from knowing what they would normally sound like in the verses, usually they kind of went for a more like, and it was like, yeah, of course, there was probably some layer of vocal effect on it, but it wasn't this kind of real robotic, twangy kind of sound. It's hard to explain. Again, if I had the terminology and I was aware of the software that they were using to get these sounds, it would be a little bit easier for me to explain it. But just from the ear and how I'm hearing it, you can just hear that it's like going for this kind of trendy, really polished, clean vocal sound that sounds quite robotic, which takes the edge off a lot of their music, because some of it is really hard hitting. And I actually love the composition of some of the moments and the way they flow, and some of the riffs is so fucking sick. But I think that's why it's not being received well. Not because they're trying something new. People want bands to try something new. I think the somewhat negative criticism is coming from the fact that it feels a little bit contrived, and it feels like they're trying to be trendy, as opposed to, not to say that they're not trying to make the best music possible, but it just feels like they're taking influences from bands that are doing really well at the moment, and it doesn't feel too authentic to me. Now, I do want to look at the comments, because this has always been a fun thing with bands dropping music recently. It's been fun to see the response on Imminence. They've been a band that's obviously they're on a bigger scale than Allt right now, but they've gotten a lot of attention recently, and it feels like their sound is slightly altered. It's gone a little bit more safe and maybe mainstream in moments. So it's been fun to see the comments back and forth between fans of the band that are new and fans of the band that have been around for a while. So let's look at the comments for this and see what the general consensus is, because I think this is quite a fun song. This might be the best single so far, but it still has that like Allt DNA, but also the kind of new DNA that they're like, you know, syringing into their music. Syringing is I don't know why I came up with that word for that, but let's look at the comments. I'm out of focus. There we go. So let's have a look at some of these comments. I predict that people are going to be quite mixed on this, the way I am. And I feel like that's going to be on display in the comments. Maybe not. We'll see. Robin's truly channeling Chester on this one. Beautiful song. Please tell me there's also heavy tracks on this album. I don't even care for it to be heavy. This is a new band. Don't like the new singles, but they're talented. I'd agree, it does kind of feel like a completely new band with the vocal effects. I understand why some people are still hung up on their old sound. I will admit they blended thal with gent and metalcore incredibly well, but on the same realm, these singles have been so nice, even if it is drastically different. People change, music changes, vision changes. Even if you don't like it, you have to respect them for continuing their long musical journey. And yes, that's exactly what I want to try. That's what I want to get across, is that, again, if this band was a completely brand new band on the scene, this would obviously be something that might be received differently. That do sound like Chester Bennington. I don't know what to think about the new road they're taking, but it's a surprise every time something new comes out. This is going to be on repeat. Guys are experimenting. It's not thal anymore, but still sounds awesome. I like the song. Will be for sure on repeat. Okay, too mellow. Hope the rest of the album will be much heavier. I don't necessarily... what the fuck is this Eurovision garbage? The new song is all kind of boring. Going to be a peak album. So yeah, look, it's pretty mixed. It's still like solid fucking music. Don't get me wrong. Allt are an incredible band, but you can see in the comments that it's divided. Again, maybe they are, you know, victims of their own incredible musicianship on the previous album, that people are expecting such a high bar. And again, this is only their second album. They're still trying to find their sound. And I'm along for the journey. It's a fun ride. Either way, I really enjoyed that song. I'm going to listen to it again and see what I think, because again, it's hard to know on a first listen. I've not gone back to Snowblind much. I'll murk that a little bit. In the gym, it's pretty fun, but there's just, again, that kind of like off-putting vocal effect thing, because Robin's such a fucking good vocalist. We've seen it, like, again, on the previous album. It's just, they're trying. So I'm more than willing to give them a bit of space to try. I'm going to be here for the ride. Looking forward to the album next week. Again, it's only 9 songs, and we've just heard the outro. That was the outro track as well. I'm yapping a lot. Leave a like in the video. Make sure you're subbed to see us in the next one. Cheers.